Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of the Star Wars Black Series archive figure, Grand Admiral Thrawn from, well, predominantly the Star Wars Rebels TV show, but also the upcoming Star Wars Ahsoka show, which comes out later this month in August. As of this recording, it is the 9th of August, and I think the Ahsoka show, if I'm not mistaken, premieres 23rd of August, so yeah. I'm doing this handheld, so it's not, my camera's not on the tripod, so hopefully, maybe, depending on how I feel about this video, I might put the camera on the tripod for the next review, but yeah, I just bought this figure today, and yeah, just thought, might as well review it on the channel, on the YouTube channel, and see what its strengths and what its weaknesses are and whatnot. I was also thinking earlier that this is the first blue character I've got from the Star Wars Black Series action figure line, but that's not true. I got a while back the Star Wars Black Series Cad Bane from Clone Wars, that one, not the Book of Boba Fett one. I prefer the Clone Wars look, and also I guess I have, for lack of a better term, more nostalgia, if you will, for that design, or sort of version of the character, I guess. But yeah, yeah, I mean, if you look closely enough, it's a good, decent sort of head sculpt of the actor and or character. Mads Mikkelsen does the voice in Star Wars Rebels, but he also is the actual character in Ahsoka, from what I understand. You've also got these sort of like white imperial sort of attire with the very, very black boots, as well as a holster for his pistol, so he does come with a accessory, and yeah, very light blue sort of colour with very red eyes, slick back hair to be expected from the character. Very formidable strategist, really, I'd say. You know, you can get him in the sort of, for lack of a better term, iconic, in inverted commas, sort of pose of having his hands behind his back, like he's, you know, sort of trying to calculate something, you know, like he's sort of, yeah, as I say, sort of trying to calculate something, you know, sort of thinking stoically, you know, about certain things, you know. Yeah, as I say, accessory wise, he only comes with the one accessory, which is a bit of a shame, but it's better than no. And it's good that he comes with the holster as well, so if for whatever reason you don't want to display him with the gun in hand, you can put it in there, and it's a nice snug fit, and it works. Like, you know, it's easy enough to put the blaster in there. As for the blaster, it's just got some nice textured detail on the hilt, is that the right word? On the sort of the grip area, and then a sort of like decently sort of Star Warsy sort of designed sort of thing, to make it look a bit sci-fi and like a blaster pistol, as opposed to just a regular pistol from our world. And the belt is nice. It's got some silver and sort of detailing and that, you know, sort of a bit of detailing. You've also got the gold there, sort of really sort of highlighting his, for lack of a better term, status in and amongst the imperial ranks, as it were, because as I say, he's a Grand Admiral of the Empire, so you know, he's quite high up there, in terms of his credentials. Articulation wise, it's the sort of standard, I think, articulation for a Black Series. You know, the legs do that. Trying to move the feet, but they don't seem to want to move too much. He's a bit more stiffer, for lack of a better term, than some of the other figures I've had, but maybe it's because it's a re-release, I'm not sure. His head doesn't move up and down too much, I'm not sure why that is. it's a little bit disappointing, but you can get his wrists to move side to side a bit, but not much, and you can, as I say, put the blaster in his hand fairly easily. Although this time it's probably not going to work. Oh no, wait, there you go. And you can get him in some fairly decent poses with the blaster, as I say, in hand. Looking quite, as I say, imposing. Is that the right word? Sort of menacing, like, pew, 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 like, you know. And that. Before I forget, I am recording this video slightly different area, which is why there's a slightly different background, if anyone even cared, or even noticed. But yeah, because I'm so much of an idiot, I kind of forgot that this bit of the table pulls out, so that I could have been using this for a lot of other reviews, like Big Finish reviews, or other bits and bobs, you know, the action figure reviews and this, that and the other, but I never did because I totally forgot it even existed, because most of the time I don't have it pulled out. I obviously have it, as I say, like, in there, like I'll show you just what I mean, like I usually have it like that, but obviously, as I say, or as I just said, it extends all the way out to here, so, but yeah, as the guy said who I bought this figure from, or the guy who owned the shop that I bought the figure from, he made the valid point that this figure will go up in price because of obviously the Ahsoka show, so get him whilst you can, because he retailed there at least for £22.50, which I think is decent enough, an alright price, I guess. I mean, personally, I think he's worth maybe a bit less personally, but that's just me. But then I guess it depends if you're like a really hardcore Star Wars Rebels fan, or like grew up with Rebels then as a TV show, whereas I watched season 1 and 2 here and there, I think, when it was originally out on Disney XD, question mark. But then season 3 and 4 I never got really round to watching, or if I did, I only ever watched maybe 1 or 2 of 3. And then by the time 3 and 4 were fully out, I think that was the time when we stopped having Sky, so I couldn't watch it anymore, which is annoying. And only recently, in the like last 2 or 3 years, like sort of tail end of COVID, I binge watched, for lack of a better term, marathoned all the way through season 1 to 4. And I recently rewatched season 4 because, like, sort of tail end of July, tail end of July, to obviously refresh my brain on what the beep happened with Thrawn and Ezra and so on and so forth, Sabine and Ahsoka and all that lot. Because obviously a lot of people are saying that Ahsoka is essentially going to be pretty much Star Wars Rebels season 5, but then I was like, wait, I thought they did for 5 seasons of Rebels anyway, so wouldn't this be like season 6? But then actually, in the animated series, it only went up to 4 series, so, which is fine, but yeah. I mean, yeah, it's decent enough figure. Articulation could be better, maybe maybe another pistol, but then I guess the issue there is, like, do you really need another holster? Then it'd look goofy. I don't know. I mean, maybe he could have come with like some sort of holographic charter or something, because I feel like a lot of the time in the show, could be wrong about this, but he's always looking at some sort of star map or something, you know, and so to have him come with something like a little star map or chart or graph thing, like little holographic thing, could have been cool, you know, like a little holographic version of like the Emperor or something that he could just hold in his hand, you know, so he's like talking to the Emperor. That could have been pretty neat. But I think the paint apps, the detailing is good, the articulation's decent, but for a Black Series, I think it's a little bit below average, which is a bit of a shame in terms of articulation, although I guess he's not a character who, you know, moves about very sort of expressively, you know, he's a character who's sort of very, very calculated in how he thinks as well as how he moves, you know, he moves with a lot of purpose, which is probably what adds to his menace as a character, because he has a lot of control, and that's something that obviously the Ezra and the Rebel crew don't want him to have, because he is evil. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this.